Going with a monthly department report, starting with code. Patrick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The report y'all have in front of you there is for the month of September, and some of the highlights from that report are as follows. Had 51 code inspections, total of 31 permits written. We had 5 new businesses acquire their business license. We did have 10 that closed. Let's see, ongoing projects, we have Dunkin' Donuts under construction, Walmart distribution center, building a mezzanine there. St. Anna's Church is an ongoing project as well at that time. In the code department, we mailed out approximately 700 business license renewal applications. We started a project in that time frame too of cleaning up some expired permits that had accumulated in our system. So we're making good progress on that. We wrote, the city marshal wrote 154 repair cleanup orders, did re-inspections on those, investigated 8 utility tampering and theft cases, and wrote 6 citations. If you got any questions about the balance of the report, I'll be glad to answer.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yes, sir.
Electric Telecom Department, Mr. Thompson.
Thank you, Mayor. One thing to notice in the electric is these rains have really helped us out. We're using a lot more SEPA energy, which is the energy off the Savannah River. That is our lowest cost energy, but everything else inside electric is pretty well running as it has every month this year. Telecom, we're still rolling around. We do have 39 wireless customers added up to date on several projects. Growing along. So I'm real happy with its progress. A couple updates. Maybe chime in on this Vogel update if you want to. We settled with the Manufacturing Construction Consortium on the discrepancy of who owed what. And I think MEAG came out to the good on that a lot better than the other owners. And maybe you have anything to say about that. You probably know more than I do.
Well, it basically just lets them go on with the project, and instead of stalling it every day, it's stalled. It costs MEAG $1 million. So we just got to keep on going, keep on the timeline, and basically this agreement has let us move forward now. So we're looking at coming online with Vogel 3. And everything that MEAG put in their debt service, we're not going to go over. So they have, thankfully, the interest rates have dropped a little bit where they can borrow some long-term money. So we're going to be all right. Some other folks are going to be a little bit higher on their utility rates, but the city of Monroe is going to be pretty much in line since we've got this agreement.
Thank you, Mayor. We're starting our yearly pole inspection. They're going out on the southeast and a little bit in the northeast side of town, inspecting poles, digging down around them, making sure none are rotten and none are damaged or any problems with that. The LED lights that y'all let us order, 200 of them have shown up yesterday, and we will start installation next week. We've put in a few on McDaniel and Jackson Street. They got us a few early, and we will start the other streets that we named at the last meeting shortly. One other update we have found the manufacturer of a LED bulb that will go into decorative lighting. Now I have one installed out front. When we leave, if you want to, just get with me and I'll show you the difference. It's going to save us. That bulb will save us about 2/3 in energy in a decorative light. Its price range is about $75, where every other retrofit kit we were looking at is around $250. So it's a big cost savings in energy and in upfront cost. If you have any questions, I'll take them.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
Thank you.
Finance Department.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things we're working on. Of course, we've got Logan Probst here with us. He's our new finance director. He's taking my place in just a short while. So we've been working hard trying to get him transitioned over. So working on that, and of course the budget. We've got the budget workshop coming up, and get all that together and be ready for 2016 soon. So one thing we're working on with the utilities is going to a full-time call center. So our CSR staff will be rotating in there, and hopefully they'll work it out so that there'll be a live person to handle that first point of contact and then forward the calls on. So we're planning to try to get that going next week. So it's all set up, and Brian's been working hard, and his staff with Beth on that. So we'll get that going, and hopefully everything will just fall right into place and work just fine. The financials, everything's looking really good. I'll go into a little bit more detail during the workshop, but cash for this time of the year looks really good, and I'll again compare that to the department heads just really watching things and keeping things in line with the budget. So I'm glad to take any questions.
Any questions? Thank you, Renee. And Logan, we are happy to have you. Congratulations, and got a lot of work to do. Fire department.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Fire department answered 218 calls for service this month, and 229 calls to the fire department itself. You can see the rest of the type calls in the report. Again, you know, when we think about fire, we think about saving structures and property, and life. But those guys also do a great service to the community on their first responder training, their EMT training. You look at 218 calls, 142 were medical related type calls that they were answering. So that's a part of the fire service I think sometimes gets overlooked, but I mention it every month. Had 298 hours of training in the fire department. Had 2 public relations events. Any of your questions?
Move into the police department.
Police department had 3,620 calls for service, 1,733 calls to the department, 435 court cases. We conducted 460 hours of training. We had 103 Part 1 crimes for the month of September, 149 Part 2. Arrested 101 adults, 8 juveniles. You can see the community reports down there, pending your questions.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Move into solid waste.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our reports for September, and all of our tons have trended downward. The month of September, with the section of recycling, it was up to 143. Overall, it was 143 tons, close to 144 tons, and most of that was yard trimmings. It was up 127 tons. Collected 5.5 tons of scrap tires. We issued 79 garbage carts, 17 recycle bins, and 7 cemetery permits. Take any questions you might have.
Thank you, Danny. Streets and transportation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's highlighting the report for the month of September. On the admin side, we rented out the community building 6 times. In the fleet maintenance division, they completed 114 work orders on various units throughout each department and division of the city. The grounds crew picked up right at a half a ton of litter throughout the city streets. Street division performed repairs on 3 streets, did 11 streets where we performed some patching, deep patching, and we ended up paving and completing our LMIG projects on McDaniel, Walker Drive, Richard Parsons Drive. Those are complete now. They just got striped this week, so if you hadn't gone down through there and noticed, it's really turned out really nice overlays on those 3 streets. We recently have completed a kind of rehab of a city park on Green Street. We went in and redid the basketball court and some landscaping down there, and it really turned out nice. So I would ask if you are through there, it's a nice looking parking there now. It's gonna have some green grass coming up with all this rain we got. If it don't get washed out, it's gonna be really nice in there. Moving into the sign and markings division, we completed 55 work orders in September and 46 work orders in the building maintenance division. And I'll be glad to entertain any questions regarding the report for the month of September.
Thank you, Jeremiah. Water, sewer, gas, and stormwater, Rodney.
Thank you, Mayor. In the water plant, we processed 76 million and treated 35 million at the wastewater plant. Water distribution, wastewater collection, service call, emergency calls, all are pretty much in line with the rest of this year and September of last year. Natural gas division, same. We did install 4,100 feet of gas pipe in the States at Mill Creek subdivision there on Breedlove Drive. Stormwater, same, pretty much in line with the previous months. And at the training center, we had another good month, trained 65, had 65 attendees on site and 6 off site. Any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Okay, thank you, Rodney.
Thank you.
Moving to committee information, finance.
We don't have anything on the agenda tonight, Mayor.
Okay, airport.
Larry.
Mr. Mayor, Council, the Airport Commission wanted to report tonight the positive returns that we're getting from the upgrades at the airport. We started a log out there a few months ago, and I just wanted to read to you a few of the comments that were on here. Nice facilities, good gas price. Heading to Suchess for fly-in from South Florida, greeted with a smile and 2 bottles of water. Thank you. It's a cool place. Nice to see you can still have an honor system and no one steals the money. There are a number of those types of comments, but the returns are quite good. Also, to let you know that fuel sales for the month of October were 1,869 gallons. So we're moving through some fuel. Also, they were kind enough to allow Rodney Etheridge, myself, to go to the Georgia Airport Commission meeting. We found a lot of things there. One of the things that we found were great resources. We met a lot of people. We found out what other airports are doing. We found out where some additional funding might be available for us. I really do want to thank the council for allowing us to learn and be involved with the rest of the airports in the state. And I'll be glad to take any questions.
Larry, total fuel now is about roughly 5,000 gallons have been sold of the.
Yeah,
of the
8,000. We'll probably go through the month of November, and toward the end of the month of November, we'll need to put in another order for fuel, which I got to tell you, our best expectations were to start off very slow, maybe 1,000 gallons a month, and now it's turned out to be almost double that. So things are happening really well, and we're still some of the cheapest gas in the state of Georgia. So it's bringing people in here. There was one gentleman that said, "I'll always curve by Monroe on my way home." So it's nice to know that people are stopping in. A lot of these people are on business. A number of them are on personal trips, but they're stopping by Monroe where they never did before, and that's a positive thing for the airport and for the city. Anything else?
Just appreciate your work and continuing. And these workshops around the state is probably the best thing to do. You can learn a lot of stuff and get some great ideas.
And we've had a lot of good contacts, Mr. Mayor. We sure did, and that was very positive.
And you're getting Monroe's name out in these areas too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you for that opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Larry. That's all I
You
have,
have
Mr.
anything
Mayor.
else? Okay, thank you. Public Works,
No items tonight, Mayor.
thank you. Utilities,
Thank you, Mayor. Gas line replacement, Mr. Middlebrook.
Thank you, Mr. Little. This is a request to purchase 5,000 feet of 4-inch plastic gas main to replace 5,000 feet of 4-inch steel main that runs along Alcovey Street from Vine Street down to Walker Drive. It is a CIP item. Low bid was Consolidated Pipe and Supply at $14,703. Any questions? Won't have to answer.
Any questions from Mr. Middlebrooks? And it is a CIP budgeted item for 2015.
Yes, sir.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from Consolidated Pipe and Supply for $14,703.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
It's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We will recommend that to council.
Thank you.
Spacer cable for the Wayne Street project, Mr.
Yes, sir, Mr. Little. This is a capital item. It's in this year's budget. This is a project, really a continuation of another project from Brelove Drive all the way to this office. We'll be putting in a spacer cable coming from the Baptist Church at the corner of Wayne and McDaniel, all the way down Wayne and tying in at Highland. Several things it'll do for us: replace all the old poles in that project, also replace the copper wire with aluminum wire, and it'll make the project look a lot better. We've been working with the landowners and property owners along Wayne and with Windstream, and we're going to put some of the verticals or the horizontal taps out to some of these businesses underground, get some of the wiring that just runs across the street down. We've got some issues back in behind Buckles with some of those poles that are in pretty bad shape that need replacing. So we're going to move the location of them to better allow them to load and unload trucks. And I think it's just going to work out good for the consumer in that area and give us a much more reliable service to this office and to the police department. Give us a little better way to move power around town. Hendrix Cable from HD Power Supply is their sole source for this material. It's right under $23,000. I think it's $22,983, and that is for the material for the project. We will do the install ourselves. I'll take any questions you have.
Any questions for Mr. Thompson? Is there a motion?
I make the motion, we recommend to the council the approval of this at $22,987.
It's a motion by Mr. Bradley. Is there a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We will recommend that to council. All right, Mr. Thompson, the CAP license.
CAP license, it sounds a lot simpler than it is. I won't try to make it as simple as I possibly can. The CAP 1000 is the device that we use to put digital TV channels onto the cable plant. And we've talked in the past about compressing those signals down and getting more space for internet, and that is what this will allow us to do. Also, since we are becoming more reliant on the CAP 1000 for our TV signals to get to people's homes, we need to buy a maintenance agreement that gives us a 24-hour window to have that device replaced or repaired. So we bid this out with a couple of companies. One is Megahertz and one is AMT. Megahertz is capable of selling us the licenses, but Aris Motorola, who are the manufacturers of the CAP 1000, with the maintenance agreement, they only go through Advanced Media Technologies. And they beat Megahertz on their bid for the licenses anyway. So what I'm requesting is a total of $26,654 for licenses and maintenance agreement for the CAP 1000. It is included in the DOCSIS 3 capital project. And I'll take any questions.
What was that total?
$26,654.
And how much did we have in the capital?
170-something thousand. We probably spent about 40 of it. The one item that gets us here is this $12,155 for the maintenance agreement. That is a big item. Usually we can buy these licenses at $4,000 a piece, and It's going to allow us to take 36 channels and put them into 3 channels, which will make your HDs more reliable, make it easier for us to maintain the plant, and it'll make the standard definition images come in much clearer.
So will this be an ongoing cost yearly?
The maintenance agreement, yes, ma'am, will be a yearly item that we have to deal with in some way, shape, or form. There are other manufacturers out there that are making devices that do this, and hopefully in the next couple of years there will be another device that's much cheaper than this device, and that's what we're hoping for.
Brian, the maintenance agreement is with AMT as well.
Yes.
Is that a separate PO?
Well, you got the
Or a separate
$7,000.
quote?
You got the $7,335 plus the $4,420. You add those two together, it comes up to $12,155. And then you take the CAP 1000 licenses, we just got them to price one license at a time. And so you do 3 of those and it ends up to be the $14,499. You add all that together, it's $26,654. To get the
So
quotes.
on that last line item, the 4833, multiply that by 3?
By 3, yes. And that's what made it confusing. This whole thing was a little confusing because we got them just to price one license at a time. And that's the way it got on the agenda. I apologize for that.
Mr. Thompson and I spent a long time discussing this earlier. It's extremely confusing. It was to me when it started. I finally came out with a reasonably good explanation of it, acceptance of it. But what I suggested to him, and I've suggested to Mr. Chancey, is that early next year maybe, or sometime, I think the council needs a really good class explanation of the way the TV system works and how it ties in with other companies and how these licenses work and all this type thing. So hopefully, in the next few months can put that together. I think it needs to be like a chalkboard talk and you walk through how all these things tie together because he understands it. And, from an engineering standpoint, but when he starts talking engineering to me, I don't understand it.
I understand that totally.
So we spent a rather lengthy conversation on this proposal. And with that, since I did get somewhat of understanding, Mr. Chairman, I will make the motion that we recommend this for approval of $26,654, which includes the different items that we just discussed.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. Mr. Bradley's made the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Dixon. Is there any further discussion? This is going to have a benefit to our overall internet system.
Internet is the push behind this. What we're doing.
It's not all just for the cable TV.
No, sir. But the project is called the DOCSIS 3 project, and you have to do these things you have to compress these TV signals to make more room for faster internet. As you all know, streaming of content is where this is going. It's where entertainment is going. I can't tell you where actual broadcast TV and regular cable TV channels will be in the future, but there's been several launches of new channels and they're internet only. They don't even go through us. They go straight. So our internet capacity has grown exponentially over the past 3 or 4 years. Since 2006, we've gone from having 450 megabits total capacity for the city to now we're at almost 10 gig of capacity for the city. And that's going to continue. We've got to be able to deliver that to the customer. We can deliver that over fiber or our wireless, but the CMTS, which is another device that gets it to your cable modem, it needs this space. And we've got to compress these things to make this space for these. And Mr. Bradley's talking there, I'll draw up a good document that gives as simple as I can explanation, and we'll sit down with y'all individually or as a group, and we'll go over this whenever y'all are ready. But I'll try to get that out next month.
I think the thing that you said in it, which is real important, is we're doing this primarily for the benefit of the internet system.
Not
but
just for the cable
TV. The TV system
to make it,
to know what we have to do with the TV
I
system to make the improvements on the internet system, and that's where it got confusing, I think.
Yeah. So there's a motion by Mr. Bradley, seconded by Ms. Dixon, that we authorize and recommend to council that we spend the $26,654 for the licenses and the box. All those in favor?
No.
Say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
And opposed? We'll recommend that to council. Mr. Mayor, that's all we have.
Thank you. Public safety,
We don't have anything tonight, Mayor. Public safety.
economic development.
Asked Ms. Crosby to come up, and, one of the things that I'm happy with, from an economic development standpoint, is the way that the city works with some of our economic development partners, because we all realize that whatever happens in this area benefits us all. So she's going to show a short video. She can tell you a little bit of what the video is about, but it shows the cooperation we have in working with our partners.
I mentioned this to all of you. We went down and participated in a virtual bus tour. Typically the project managers, and so these are the gatekeepers to all industrial site locations that come to the state of Georgia. They will do bus tours where they go and see communities. But after seeing a couple of communities, they all look the same. And so the Georgia Department of Economic Development is trying something new. They invite the communities to come to them and put on a presentation showcasing your county. So you do it at the county level, but we participated really closely with Shane and a number of other stakeholders in Walton County. And part of it was this video that we showed to all the project managers. We also hosted them really well. We had an incredible team, incredible turnout, great feedback, and Shane has had a lot of activity as a result. But I wanted all of you to see this video too, because it just puts it all together of what we have here in Walton County. So you have to flip around for a second. And you'll see how Monroe's featured here. The two industries that are interviewed are Monroe industries. And you'll see the Piedmont Regional Industrial Park, which is in Monroe. And so it's in our interest that this really gets attention. So it turned out really well. Not this.
From incorporation to helping us secure the land, to helping us secure a great workforce, Walton County has played a vital role in the success of our company.
Walton County's been very accommodating to Walmart. It's close to Atlanta. It has a great infrastructure for roads, not too far from the port. So it's just been a real good fit for Walmart.
good.
Very impressive what we have to offer here in Walton County. So that's all very positive. And there are a couple minor changes that we're going to adjust to the video, and once we have a final version, that will be up on our website and on the economic development page for the city as well. So that if someone is doing their research online, they'll be able to find out all that information. A couple other things that have happened in the area of economic development. We are finalists for the Georgia Initiative for Community Housing. We had our site visit with the site selection team. Thank you very much for those of you who attended and joined us for that. We have an incredible team we pulled together. It's a great mix of different stakeholders in the community, and the site selection visit went very well. We'll find out November 12th if we're chosen to participate in that program to help us come up with a master plan for specific to our community for the housing needs that we will have over the next 10 to 20 years. And lastly, the holiday season is coming here, which we get geared up in downtown for that, and this Thursday night is the first of our holiday events. It's Light Up the Night, and the lights on the trees will turn on for the first night. And we're kind of marketing this as a date night event. We'll have art in different stores, so the restaurants are running specials for those that are out for Light Up the Night, and it's the grand opening for the Monroe Visitor Center. It's coming together really nicely. It's going to be in the lobby area of the old City Hall, connected to the museum. So it's the opening on Thursday night of the Monroe Culture and Heritage Museum and the Monroe Visitor Center. So we'll do a ribbon cutting at 4 p.m. and then it'll stay open the rest of the evening. It's the first night it's open to the public. So please come join us, come see that, and tell friends and family. We're excited to have a central place where we can almost put the front door of Monroe as a city to our visitors. So we're very excited about it and really proud of the community effort that's pulled together to make it possible. Do you have any questions? Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next week, items of upcoming discussion will be zoning variance at 1401 Alcova Street. Patrick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This first item of discussion is, as you said, 1401 Alcova Street. It was an item that was tabled at the last meeting for further consideration of some options for getting the sidewalks installed for St. Anna's Church in conjunction with their development. I have come up with some options that I wouldn't mind putting before you tonight for them to get into compliance with the sidewalk ordinance and also have an opportunity to make it a little bit easier on them financially down the road. So with that said, I will just mention the skeletal framework of an agreement that I've discussed with Pastor Dan and with a gentleman named Dennis Kelly, who worked with the Archdiocese of Atlanta. They expressed some interest and they wanted to discuss it amongst themselves and get back to us. And hopefully we'll get some input on that in the next week before we bring this to you at the council meeting. The basic framework is to enter into some sort of development agreement that would require 25% of the total linear footage of the sidewalk to be installed per year somewhere in the city. And we're offering an opportunity to choose where that would go within the city limits inside our sidewalk master plan so that they could possibly direct their efforts and their input and their money for installing these sidewalks to underserved communities or communities that they feel that they could perform some sort of outreach in. I think that would give an opportunity for some good PR for them. It would show that the city's more than willing to work with people in order to get the sidewalks installed as needed. You know, give them 4 years basically to get it installed. And that's the basic framework. If you have any questions or suggestions, I'm glad to hear them. I'll try and answer the questions as best I can.
Okay. Next one is a rezone for 234 North Hammond Drive.
Yes, sir, and I'll try and be brief with this one. It's just basically Colin Phelps Enterprises LLC requesting a rezone to B2 from B1. They have adjacent property that's B2 zone already, in that area, and it's all commercial on Hammond Drive. The code enforcement's recommendation for this would be to approve as submitted. And if you have any questions on that, I'll answer them as well.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, thank you.
That is going to conclude our regular meeting.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
before we adjourn from here, I would just like to point out, and I've forgotten his name already, we have a young scout with us tonight, that by attending here, he's completing his badge, merit badge, which will allow him to become an Eagle Scout. So just want to congratulate him on what he's done.
Could you give us your name?
Dustin Kane.
Dustin, okay, congratulations, and thank you for coming tonight. The meeting's always open whenever you want to attend, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We will have a need for an executive session tonight, so we need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mrs. Malcolm, second by
Me. Second.
Scott. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?